Why wouldn't you call me, though?
We knew you'd be coming because we wanted to see your freak out mode.
Oh, you jackasses.
Welcome to Cue the Mic. I'm Darren Worth.
And I'm the handsome, very handsome Randy Twyford, thank you. And
Where's Emma?
well, where's Emma at?
Fuck, who knows? Emma's missing in action.
MIA.
MIA. And so we've taken the podcast into our own hands.
We would call this stag no drag.
Stag, no drag.
That's
You're exactly right. So Emma and her social calendar last night, we had set on, the podcast. We said, she sends us a message yesterday, and I'm traveling back from Kansas, and she sends us a message. How early can we record? And I said, how about 5 a.m.? Randy goes, fine. So we agreed 5 a.m.
Sick.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Remember,
she says sick,
sick.
And I said, no, I feel fine. So anyway, she, we're all set for 5 a.m. this morning, and, now it's 5:15 and we got shit to do.
If we're going to get up this early, we might as well get at it.
Right. And so, we sent her a text, but she's ghosting us. So guess what? Episode 104.
We think.
If it's not wrong, who knows? Who cares? And maybe she'll pop in here. And if she doesn't, then guess what? She's still in charge of editing this.
Editing our mess. So,
yeah, we'll make a mess.
So you said you went to Kansas. What, barbecue contest?
Yeah. We went down. I did. I went down to Osage City, Kansas. I actually at the banquet this year. Jeff from Shiggin and Grinnin, he had got a free entry to the contest, and he says, "Hey, I'm kind of busy right around there, but why don't I give you the free entry and you sign up to go, and then I'll just come down and cook with you." Because I'm pretty sure I'll be able to come down and cook, but I don't want to commit. And that's a long ways to drive for me. And I said, okay, fine. I know how this goes.
Been down this road before, haven't you?
Yeah. So anyway, Sherry's sister was on vacation, so she had to stay and work. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to be cooking solo, which I do most of the time anyway, which is fine. That's great. So anyway, I head down, and Jeff calls me last week and says, okay, when you leaving? I said, well, I'm going to leave Thursday afternoon, get down there. It's about 4.5, 5 hours down there. But okay, I'll let you know. Well, then Thursday morning, dude, yeah, I can't make it. There's no way. I just can't make it. I'm too busy. Yeah. Okay, fine. Whatever. I knew you weren't coming anyway. So anyway, cruised down there, got down there. T-Rex was supposed to be coming down Thursday night too. He ghosted us. He didn't come down till Friday morning early. But pretty calm. Well, it wasn't calm. The damn wind in Kansas.
Oh, boy, I bet.
Oh, my God. It blew on Friday. It only blew about 30 mile an hour on Friday. But on Saturday, it was blowing like 40 mile an hour sustained.
Holy shit.
Winds. And you want to know who's the dumbass that decided to just take the J3 Jambo and cook outside? Yeah, that'd be me. And so I took the motorhome and I pulled the pit. And so luckily Wade Reeder from There's No Place Like Smoke, when he pulled in, he's like, boy, I don't think I can get my motorhome and my trailer in my spot. I'm like, oh no, you park your trailer you get right in my spot too. And because the wind it was out of the north on Friday, but on Saturday it was going to come out of the south.
Right.
I said, you park right in my spot because I'm going to set up a table and my pit right in front of your trailer and act as a windbreak. So
right.
I set up a table over his tongue
God damn.
I had it over his tongue. I had to have it set right so I didn't kick his hitch. And sorry, Wade, I didn't mean to get all that brisket au jus all over your battery box. He'll probably
Yeah.
notice that today, but that's fine. After I spilled it, but yeah, the wind. I had about 3 feet of table space that wasn't like crazy wind. I mean, it was like I had a Cambro in the underneath the coach, underneath the motorhome, and man, you opened the door to that thing and it was just flying. And I had my turn-in boxes were inside in the refrigerator in the motorhome. And man, when I went to get one, you had to walk outside. The wind was blowing so strong, you had to turn yourself and protect it so it didn't
Holy
go
Toledo.
flying. And then when they had turn-ins, the turn-ins were on the south side of the building. So when you came around this corner, you just walking with your turn-in box. If you weren't expecting it, that some bitch would take your turn-in box and just go flying.
Oh,
I mean,
I
I'm
bet.
surprised somebody didn't lose one. I mean,
Sure.
it was strong. It was crazy.
How many easy ups got totaled?
You know, I didn't see any, but I didn't see many people putting them up. I
Didn't
didn't.
many
I didn't
people-
even run one. I just run a little 4-foot table in front of my Jambo, which was a great setup for me because it was like, I was very minimalistic and I love setting up that way.
Right.
And the wind didn't affect me that bad. Well, I don't know. You look at the damn scores, evidently it did, but
Right.
yeah, but it was fun. It was a little challenging. I was playing around. I'm still trying to figure out not how to cook chicken, but what I want to cook chicken on.
Right.
So I've been tweaking this chicken for months. And when I'm cooking in Florida, you know, I don't like cooking chicken on the Jambo. It gets just, even though I don't put any logs in there, it just tends to get a little smoky.
Really?
Yeah. And I
There's
don't
just enough residual in there?
Well, I'm just burning lump charcoal and it just
Okay.
has enough smokiness that I just don't care for it. So I've been trying to find what's a small cooker to cook my chicken on. So in Florida, I have a little 30-gallon can.
Right.
So I've been playing around with cooking chicken on that can. And well, when I had the motorhome, 30-gallon can doesn't fit.
Right.
Without laying it on its side. And when you lay a can on its side, it gets out of oblong and screws it all up. And so
Sure.
I'm like, and I'm sure the hell, I mean, if I would have got caught putting a can inside the motorhome, I'd been
Holy shit.
fucking barred for life. I can't even. I mean, you say, wow, why, Wendy, why didn't you just do your turn-ins inside the motorhome? Hell, I'm not even allowed to. I mean, I'm lucky I'm allowed to store my meat
In the refrigerator.
on the way to the contest inside the motorhome. That's it.
Huh.
I'm lucky I don't have to take off my clothes outside the door to go into the motorhome at a barbecue contest.
So you don't have any stank in there.
So I don't have any stank in the motorhome. But anyway, so my chicken cooking skills were put to the test this weekend. Because I was laughing with some older, there was a guy, Terry, I can't remember his name. He's from Quincy, cooking, and Wade Reeder. And we were joking so I started cooking chicken. And so I brought my little Gateway G2, which is a little mini Gateway drum.
Which I love. I love those. Is that the one on the stands?
Yeah, on the stands. You got one?
Oh, no, I haven't got one yet.
Well, I should send you one. I should send you mine.
Oh, you don't like it?
Well, so here's the problem with it is that fire is when you're going. I was trying to attempt to cook these chicken legs, hint, chicken legs, at 275 because I was taught by a chicken leg expert many moons ago that never let those chicken legs get over 275 and you won't blow them out. Right?
What do you mean by blowing them out?
Well, the tendons start blowing, even though you're trimming some of those tendons out and whatever, they won't blow out all over the place and look like shit.
Okay.
Okay. So if you keep them at 275 or lower, then that won't happen. And that's,
Okay.
I've proven that time and time again. If I can keep
It
the pit at
actually is.
275, it is. So anyway, rewind on Friday night, T-Rex, and I had never tried to keep this G2 at 275, but there's only, there's only like 10 inches between the fire basket and the grate. So it's pretty damn direct fire.
Right.
But I brought my diffuser plate to put in there underneath my old off the other 30-gallon drum. So on Friday night, we were doing a little bit of a feed, making some tacos, and T-Rex wanted to he takes a sausage and wraps it in this cornbread kind of dough,
Uh-huh.
and he bakes it. He's
Oh,
like,
okay.
hey, you want to bake those on that? And we'll see if we can hold it at 275, which he did a great job of holding it at 275, but it wanted to like crisp up the bottom a lot.
Okay.
And I'm like,
It's understandable.
So we'll just see what we can do here. So I lit it up, and on Saturday morning I got it, and I got my chicken on there, and I'm burning it. I can see I'm rotating it to make sure I don't have any hot spots, and I notice it's starting to darken up on the bottom, but I can't. I'm trying to keep it way below 275. So I put my chicken on way early. I put it on at 9:30 in the morning.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But I'm like, I'd rather have it early than try and rush it, because if I'm going to stay at 275,
Well, that's true.
I don't want to be having to burn at 400 degrees. So anyway, I start cooking the chicken, and I'm rotating it. And then all of a sudden it starts to get, I'm like, it's starting to burn here. What do I do? And I'm like, well, and I'm talking to Wade, and he's like, I said, do you think it'd do any good to put a little pan underneath on top of that diffuser plate? And he said, yeah, that'd probably help. I'd probably put some water in there. And so he came over, and we lifted it out, and I got some hot water in the pan, and I put a half pan on top of it. Well, then I couldn't get the cooker over 200 degrees.
Okay.
So it's cooking along, and I'm letting it go, but it's only at 200 degrees, and I'm rotating it. But also what's happening is I'm creating a lot of steam.
Oh.
And I've only cooked on this cooker like 3 times. But the steam is starting to steam the lid of this thing.
That much.
And starting to drip black creosote
friggin'
down on the chicken.
Yikes.
So I'm having to lift the lid and wipe the lid about every 5 minutes so it doesn't drip while I'm rotating the chicken. But the stack evidently had more creosote in it. So that one piece of chicken is black because it would drip. The first time I opened it, the one piece of chicken's black. I'm like, what in the fuck? Because it had dripped down on that one piece of chicken. So every time I rotated the chicken, I had to take that. I took that black piece of chicken and changed it out.
Had to switch her, move her over there.
I did the old moveroo. So that one, I kept moving that one around. So I kept moving that piece of chicken around. So it was always right underneath the stack. So I'm moving it around. Well, all of a sudden it gets to be, 11 o'clock. And I'm like, well, I better check this chicken. It looks beautiful color-wise, but it ain't anywhere close. And I checked the temperature, and it's 140 degrees.
Okay.
I'm like, well, I better go over to the Jambo. And I had my ribs, and they were just coming off. They just got off. So I dialed the Jambo down to 275, and I threw her in the Jambo, and the chicken, and I'm like, well, I better put some foil on that pan. So I put it in a butter bath. I cooked it for just a little bit, and I put it in a butter bath. And I'm like, really don't want to blow these out. So one of the tricks that I have is, like, if you're ever burning super hot, like 400 degrees and cooking something, but you don't want all that steam pressure,
right?
Just poke holes in your foil.
Okay.
right? So I've done that many times, like with my thighs. A lot of times guys will they'll pan their thighs up, put
Right.
a lid on them, and if you have to cook really hot, you cook really super hot, it'll blow those skins all to hell.
Sure. Sure.
But if you just poke a couple holes in them in that foil, it releases some of that steam,
Gets that steam out of there.
and it doesn't do that.
Huh.
Now it increases a little time to your cook time,
Sure.
but I'm like, well, I better get a probe out. So I got a probe out and I threw it in there and it's moving along, and I got up to about 160 and I'm like, this isn't moving fast enough. I better rip off that foil and put on straight foil, and I got to get the chicken done at this point, whether it's going to blow out or not, which I didn't think it was, but I still held 275 and I'm like, I'm just going to go with it. And I'm like, I don't need to get this chicken up to it doesn't need to get up to 205 degrees because I've been slow cooking this shit. I'm like, I'm just going to get it up above where it's safe to eat.
Right.
And so I put the foil on and I got to about 1140 and it hit 190. And I'm like, yep, that's going to be good enough. I took it off. I sauced it. I put it back on the pit. Looked beautiful, beautiful. And of course, in my normal self, I never taste anything.
Right.
I taste my chicken after I turn it in, but put it in the box, beautiful looking box, come back, turned it in. It was great. It was like amazing chicken.
Huh.
Got third place in chicken.
Well, so it paid off.
It paid off.
All the extra shuffling around and stuff.
All the shuffling around, cooking 7 different ways.
Yeah.
And
no kidding.
And so I was talking to some guys that have been around forever, and I said, could you imagine if a new cook was going through this? They just would have either turned it in raw, or they just would have turned the temperature way up and burnt the shit out of it. They wouldn't have known what to do.
Right.
Right? But it's like you just have to think about it. It's just fire. It's just meat. It's just sauces. It's just figure out how to do it.
How to get it done.
So anyway, I was set up, out in the open, no easy up, wind blowing 100,000 miles an hour. I got behind Wade Reeder's trailer to block off my turn-in box, so I was able to get out of it for that. But I mean, I had a really, really, really good cook. I thought I nailed everything. Everything looked really good. Everything, so I'm driving home. I'm listening to Ward's on the Man Meat Haddam. Well, I just got the 526. I'm coming OMG.
Oh.
But anyway, I'm listening to awards and I get third in chicken. I'm like, oh yeah, great start.
Okay. We're on the right road.
And then I don't get anybody. Well, then all these teams that only got one call are getting like 5th overall, 6th overall. Nope. 34th ribs, 62nd pork, 68th brisket, 43rd overall.
What
was
place?
great.
Out of how many teams?
Out of 92.
Well, you're a little better than half the pack, so.
Well, hi, Emma.
Why didn't you guys call me? I was
texted
snoozing
you.
alarms. Yeah, I'm not going to wake up to a text. My alarms were going off. I fell asleep on my phone because I woke up too early. I don't know, my alarms were going off, and I snoozed them in my sleep.
Hey, Randy.
I had 8 alarms going off.
Hey, Randy.
Yes.
Who wanted to record at 5 a.m.?
Okay, well, I didn't want to record it. Okay, I didn't want to record at 5 a.m. I wanted to record early.
Well, what's
I know.
early?
Let me look at a text.
I know. I said, "What's the earliest?" Okay, I know what I said.
What's the earliest?
I know.
I mean, I was going to say 4.
I was going to respond with, "How does 5:30 sound?" Because 5 was crazy, but it's my fault. I'm aware. Okay, it's my fault.
What's the difference between 5 and 5:30?
30 minutes of sleep. I was up.
You'll make it up. Take a nap this afternoon. You'll be fine.
I know.
It's fine, Emma.
No.
Just think of it this way. We
There's
got 20
30
minutes out of the way, and we never even talked about you.
Oh,
kind of
I
much?
doubt that. I doubt
We-
that.
We just got our competition segment out of the way.
Okay.
We just talked about competition.
Why wouldn't you call me, though?
We knew you'd be coming because we wanted to see your freak out mode.
Oh, you jackasses. I was up I got up at 2:30 and I was like, well, this is too early. And then I just laid in bed. And then I guess I finally dozed back off and snoozed every single alarm in my
Well,
sleep.
the reason I didn't want to do 5:30 because normally it takes about an hour and a half process,
I know.
right, from start to finish, and that means we end at 7, and
I know.
I still have to drive 20 minutes to get to breakfast,
I know. I know how this goes.
right? So
Yes.
you want us to adjust to your schedule, then
I know-
you
I
adjust to
know.
our schedule.
I know.
give and take here.
I dropped the ball. I own that. I'm here,
No,
though.
we're just saying it's just fine. You're here.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here.
You're fine.
What if I would have slept through the whole podcast? That would have been terrible for our poor listeners. Because we all know I'm really the star of this show.
Was it episode 104? Did we get that right?
Yeah, it is episode 104.
Okay, we got that. Right.
Yeah, sweet.
It's episode 104. I can't believe I overslept. I got
Emma.
done. I was logging in and I go, I can't wait to not hear the end of this.
I had to
Not
log
even.
back. I had to log back out, and I was the host.
Oh, jeez. Well, here I am.
Wow, and
You
I
guys
said
are in
5.
charge
I said 5 a.m. because I was late last night too. But I'm like, well, I'll just get up in the morning. Sherry goes to work. She'll be out of there by 4:30. I'll just set up at home. Guess what? Accounting doesn't work anymore on Sundays, so Sherry's at home. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit. So I had to get up at 3:45.
I don't know. Well, Lane and I went to a wedding in Boone, and I got home at I don't know, I was home by 9:30, but I must have been tired. My bad. I didn't have a nap yesterday. That tracks. So,
You get a nap?
oh yeah. At least one a day.
You get a nap, Randy?
No.
Yeah.
I'd sure like to have one sometimes, but I don't.
Really? Yeah, I never feel like a nap.
I love a good nap. So, the competition went well?
No.
Oh,
No.
Oh,
yikes.
no, chicken did. Chicken did.
Oh.
We accomplished chicken. Yeah. And our buddy T-Rex, he's out of his brisket slump. He's been getting a 158 out of a possible 180 in brisket for like the last year. And he gives me his brisket all the time. And I'm like, I don't know what your problem is because it tastes fine.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday I did a smart ass joke. It wasn't a joke. I said, here, I'm going to give you my brisket sauce. Right? So I gave him my brisket sauce ahead of time. I posted it on the internet. I said, better than 158 brisket sauce. And I give it to him. I said, here, try this. Let's just try one thing. Do the same thing you normally do. Put my sauce on it. Fucker he brings his brisket over to me after turn in. I taste it and I said, yeah, tastes fine. It's tough as shit. Fucking rubber band. Whoa, that's the other end of it. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah. Okay, it's still tough. 7th place brisket.
7th place brisket. So he's out of his slump.
I turned it. Yeah, he's out of his slump, and he gave it right fucking to me because I got a 163 in brisket with 68th place, which what I thought was an amazing brisket. So help a guy out, and he throws his slump at you.
Well, hopefully you won't be attached to it. So
Yeah, that's okay. I got about 3 weeks off now to stew about. No, I'm not going to stew about it. I don't really give a shit.
I was going to say.
That's what I was going to say. Do you even care?
No, that's what I
if
was
you
talking to some
cared-
rep.
You would practice. Maybe. Probably not, actually, knowing you. I
Yeah,
did take back my comment.
No.
I'm still waking up. My
no.
brain's not processing. I got to remember who I'm talking to.
Yeah, no, practicing. No, practice. No. I do want to buy. I would like to buy a little pellet cooker, a little Traeger, portable Traeger to cook my chicken on, right? And Sherry is just giving me all kinds of shit about. She's like, "No, you're not buying another damn smoker. You got 15,000 pellet cookers." I'm like, "Yeah, but they won't fit into the closet of the trailer or underneath the motorhome."
They make them that small?
Yeah, well, so the wannabes have this little Traeger tailgater, and he's like, "Check this out. You can fit 2 half pans of chicken in it." And he goes, "They're perfect," and they cook their chicken on it.
Huh.
And
Were they down
so,
there?
no, that's long ways for those boys.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm like, I just need one of these Traeger tailgaters. So what's dumbass do? I score third and chicken. So now my argument's even worse.
No, you ain't gonna. That ain't gonna fly.
Because now it's like, why the fuck would you want another? Why would you want another cooker? You just got third.
For 2 places.
You scored 3 times in chicken cooking on a can, even though I had to cook it 7 different ways and babysit it. Flip it and turn it over, and fucking might as well put it in the old chicken basket on the Weber grill like we used to.
And let her spin to win.
Which did come across my mind on Thursday when I was leaving home, trying to figure out how do I, because even the G2, to get it underneath the motorhome in the coach, I had to turn it kind of on its side and put a box underneath it to get it to go, because it was about an inch shy of standing straight up.
Okay.
So I had to rotate it on its side, and I'm like, just get the damn fucking Weber grill over there, take the legs off of it, set it in there, and I'm just going to build a little fire in the center of it and put my chicken legs around the outside of it.
Yeah, there you go. Have you ever tried that?
Well, I've done wings and stuff that way, but
does it work pretty good?
No, because I'd have to practice that.
Okay.
It'd probably work.
You'd sure have indirect heat.
Yeah. I could get one of them. I got one of them. What do you call them? It's the cone in the center. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Oh, you put a cone of charcoal in the middle of it, and you fill it full and light it and get that bitch blazing hot. And then you put all your wings around it, around the outside. It's amazing. It cooks crispy wings, man. It's awesome.
Really?
But I don't want crispy wings. I just want 275-degree chicken legs. Or I could just be like a normal person and just cook thighs.
Yeah. Any idea how many people are cooking wings and thighs? Are wings and legs compared to thighs anymore?
I think it's a mixed bag. I think in the Midwest there's a lot of thighs. I think in the Southeast there's a lot of legs. Even though I think it's I don't know. If I were to guess, in the South it's probably 50-50. In the Midwest it's probably 80-90% cooking thighs. That's my guess. On the West Coast, wings are really popular. Or they're doing a combination wings.
Right.
Listeners might prove us wrong, but that's just my in-depth analysis, which means nothing.
Because you really don't know, because you don't see the boxes and stuff like that. So,
right.
You're just going by hearsay.
Well, you just go by what people post on the internet.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Right?
Yeah. And nobody ever lies on the internet.
Right.
Nobody. Well, pictures. They put pictures on the internet.
Yeah. I remember the day you wouldn't dare post a picture of your turn-in box.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us. I mean, you'd take, let's face it, the cameras were just kind of coming on, and you'd take a picture of it, but, I mean, you kept it like gold, you know.
Yeah.
And now everybody's posting pictures of their turn-in boxes and stuff. And even when they do well, I mean, you post a picture of a box when you do shit. But it seems like even guys that are winning sometimes will post a picture on there, and it's like, that'd be sweet.
I love when the guys post a picture on there and they'll post a picture and go, "How did I get a 7 in taste in this?"
Good point. Good point.
Emma, are you having to think about that?
No, I got it. I was more of like the fact that somebody would post that.
Oh yeah, happens all the time.
Yeah.
I got it. Did I
So,
get it?
well, sounds like you had a nice time down at Osage
I had a nice
City.
time. It was breezy, but we had a nice time. We had some.
How was driving the motor coach in the hurricane force winds?
Not bad. There was an hour that was a little. It actually held pretty well.
Right.
I had to go east for about an hour and then north when I was going, because on Thursday going down, the wind was out of the north and it blew me down.
Blew you down there?
And then on the way back, it was out of the south and it blew me home. So it was good. I like driving the big coach because you get to see a lot, and it's got a lot of power to it, and it's just very comfortable to ride.
I bet it would be.
Got air ride seats, and you can just kind of get set in. And I didn't have my passenger next to me going, "Hey, watch this! Hey, watch this!" And it's got all kinds of alarms, so you can pretty much sleep. It's got a detection device of people out in front of you.
Okay.
So on the dash that will tell you once you're like so far out, and then it gets down up to a certain point. If you get within so many feet of a vehicle, it'll start beeping at you.
Right.
And then if you hit one line or the other without turning on your turn signal, it'll beep at you.
Will it really?
Yeah. So it's kind of nice. So if you fall asleep, it'll wake you right back up.
It'll wake you back up. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty good. And then, when the road's straight, you can put on cruise control and you go back, take a piss. And
yeah,
it's kind of nice.
You should.
That's why they call it cruise control.
I don't think that's why.
Oh. If it was Randy and I doing that, he'd just be holding the wheel. He was holding the wheel while I went back and took a piss. I can't talk Cherry into doing that, but
just off to the side.
Mm-hmm. But very, very, very comfortable. And the slide outs worked.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Slide outs both worked. Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, everything worked.
I was just gonna ask you, no problems or anything? Knock on wood.
Everything worked. Everything worked for the entire trip, even.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't brag on it. It's hard telling you. You'll take it out again and nothing will work.
Well, we got up to 4,700 miles, and we've only got $4,500 in maintenance expense on it so far. Okay. But we haven't changed the oil yet, so not that maintenance. I'm talking about outside of warranty, fixed shit, broke shit.
Everything's outside of warranty.
So if you ever want to buy an RV, that's what you expect.
About $1 a mile to a certain
$1
point.
a mile. Just count on $1 a mile. Yep.
Till maybe 5,000 miles.
Right, and then we'll see.
Then you'll get into the big stuff.
Then we'll get into the big stuff.
Well, we're still dragging a generator with us, so we haven't got a price on getting our generator fixed or replaced yet.
You still haven't got a price?
Righty, that's a long time.
It's just been a week, so.
Yeah, but you're looking around a generator.
Well, I got a lot of strong boys that work for me, and I got ramps. So the only thing of it is we did an event, did a street side vending on Wednesday in Springfield. So we pull the food truck in and then back the van up to it, then set the generator out and plug it into it. We finally got all the power straightened out, what we have to have off, and we don't have to have really anything off but the air conditioners or the heaters up above, and we can run everything. So we're good on that. We're not blowing breakers anymore.
Okay, that's good.
And and this was we went, and Marla went with us. There's me and one of the other guys and Marla. And she started out on the register, but then she got moved over to expedition. Expediting, so. But
you knew that was going to happen. How many tickets did she get in?
Oh, probably maybe 15, 20 at the most. And I leaned over to Colin. I said, do you think you can handle this with her if I take over the register? And he goes, please take the register. Because all the time he's looking over her shoulder, and helping her and trying to put everything together and stuff. So,
Did she give any flack about that or no?
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh, okay, good.
That's fine. And it worked out really well.
Okay, good.
But so we got done. We rolled the generator back in the truck, in the van, and she comes around and she goes, you got a parking ticket. And I'm like, I was in our area that we paid, to have meters blocked for us. I got a ticket for parking the wrong way on the street. I was facing westbound, and the street side we were on was eastbound. And I got a ticket, $50 ticket. I didn't even argue it with it. I matter of fact, yesterday afternoon I went online and paid it. Wrong way parking.
What would you do? And did you just park the other way, and then people would only see this?
I would unload the van and turn the van around.
Oh.
And had it facing the same way as a food truck.
Oh, okay. Okay. It was on the van. For some reason, I was processing.
And they could see what you were doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They knew what you were doing.
That's what kind of pisses me off.
Evidently, Bubby's Barbecues, buddies with the damn ticket taker.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Taker.
And at one point, I came out to do something, get something out of the van, and I saw a car parked down there, but they had a lot of shit on the dash. And I'm like, well, that ain't the parking meter people, because they wouldn't have, well, to find out, I'm sure it was the parking meter people. They had all their shit on the dash, all their paperwork and stuff. So we learned park with the way of the traffic. Little
side note, you notice things as you drive this RV because you got a bigger picture. You get to look down.
Oh, boy.
Right? Look down.
Yeah.
No, it's not summertime, Randy. So you don't get to look down, right?
Okay.
But what is it about the state of Missouri that every other car in the state of Missouri, the fucking back seat is filled to the brim and the dash is full of all the mail?
Is that right?
What is the deal? I mean, it is like crazy. All these cars, you're driving through northern Missouri. Maybe I should just say northern Missouri. Driving through northern Missouri. And these cars, these people fill up their back seats full. And I'm not talking about they're moving.
It's just,
I'm talking about they're just fucking throwing shit back there.
Yeah.
And their fucking dash, you can hardly see out of it with mail. It's like they stop at the mailbox and they'll just throw that fucker up in the dash.
Kind of like a farmer's pickup.
Yeah. It's crazy. If I saw one of those, I saw 50 of those.
No, did you have any where the passenger seat was full of shit?
Oh yeah. It's just not all the way full. Normally, that's got all the pizza boxes and McDonald's sacks.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Just crazy.
So the back seat was full of shit.
Anyway, oh God, just piled. You can't see out the back window. How do they not write them tickets?
Yeah, and I get one for just now that parking parking the wrong way. That's a big one down in Puerto Rico. I mean, everybody. They give tickets all the time because people just park wherever. If they're coming in, no matter what side the road they're on, they'll park the opposite way. And that's a big ticket item down there.
But the problem is you're having to take a van everywhere you go.
That's exactly right.
I mean, you could have probably paid for that welded generator thing by now.
Well, I think so. I'm still waiting on getting the price on the what the repair is going to be. And once we get that, then I'm going to get the price on welding a bracket on the front of it. My only thing is, how will they run we weld a bracket on the front of it, and then the cab tilts up. So we just have to take that off if we need to tilt the cab up.
Yeah, but how often are you tilting the cab up?
Not very often. But yeah, it's a pain in the ass having to, drag the van with you and then unload it. And
I mean, the beauty is by having it up there, then the noise of it, and it doesn't have much noise to the Hondas anyway.
No.
But the noise is up out of the way.
That Honda, that 7000 is so quiet. I mean,
yeah,
you shut the back door, you don't really hear it at all.
Right.
And once we figured out our layout on breakers and stuff, we got that figured out. So we're not blowing breakers. Just don't run the microwave, or if you have to
go make coffee, Emma.
I will after this. It's fine. The adrenaline that I felt this morning is starting to wear off. The rush of anxiety that I had when I was like, oh shit. Gotta get up. I got up so fast. I saw I woke up, turned off the alarm, saw it was 5:28. I didn't even read your text yet. And I was like, son of a bitch. And then I got up really quick. I was a mess.
And then you logged in and saw that we were live.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I guess that's good. It's for the best. But I was more worried. I was like, oh shit, I'm going to log in. And I was like, I'm going to have to actually listen to however long they've recorded before me because they're probably just talking so much shit.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
No, we were just talking barbecue.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
But I'll make coffee eventually. Oh, Randy, we got a 7 brew. We got a 7 brew in Des Moines. It opened this week. I've been 3 times. You were right.
You like it?
It's good.
Yeah.
Because it's good. I missed Free Swag Day yesterday, which was a little disappointing. But
what's so good about it?
I don't know. Well, one, it's a very small menu. Like, it's a limited menu, which I enjoy those.
Well, they do energy drink. They do energy drinks and all kinds of stuff.
Coffee.
So they're like the hyper type thing too.
No, well, I mean,
except for their coffee with a little energy, where hyper's energy with a little coffee.
Get a blondie. A blondie.
That's what
coffee.
I
got.
Oh, so good.
I get mine with 7 shots of caffeine. 7 shots in it.
That's a lot. But honestly, it's a pretty watered down drink. So like, I would act like a.
What's that cost?
It's honestly not that expensive.
I think it's like $7-8.
Yeah, when they're large. I think I have a cup right here.
Is that coffee?
No, it's not coffee. It's a fruity drink.
No, the blondie is coffee.
But it's so loaded up with all kinds of flavoring and stuff. You wouldn't even know it was coffee.
Yeah.
If you wanted to drink coffee and you don't like coffee,
it's the place to go. It's the large is like a true large. It's not like any of that. Oh, this is our large. It's like a real big boy.
Is it dairy free?
No.
No.
I mean, you could get it dairy free for sure.
I'm sure they got dairy free stuff.
Yeah. But Randy and I don't have that problem, so we enjoy our dairy. But yeah, no, I was thoroughly impressed. I went 3 days in a row, actually. And I only paid for 1 coffee. So sick.
How's that? Somebody else bought it for you?
No, the first day, they screwed up how they put in my order. And they're like, we actually put it in a discount, so it was free. And I was like, sick. Second day.
Did it make you
sick? Sick is her word of the fucking week.
Yeah.
That's sweet. And then the second time, it was their deal of they actually were doing like a deal, and it was like just order a large drink, get it for free, because this is our first week open, so they had all sorts of stuff going on. And then I paid for my third one.
Where's it at?
It's on Southeast 14th Street, towards closer to the Army Post, Southeast 14th and Army Post. So up by our new Raising Cane's.
Oh,
growing
man,
over here.
Man, you Southsiders are like,
Yeah, we're coming a real place. However, our mall looks sketchy and should probably close, and our Target is not even big enough to have a grocery section, and our Hy-Vee looks like a place for creepy people. But it's fine.
huh. Did you
Southside.
did you start you an account with them so
Yeah.
they'll keep track? Oh yeah, I've
yeah,
got like 4 free drinks.
so they can send you 50,000 emails.
You know
I
what?
actually haven't gotten an
Surprisingly,
email from them yet.
I haven't never got one from
You
them.
guys fall for that
surprisingly.
shit.
I got a text the day I signed up, but I have not gotten any marketing from them
I haven't
since.
either. I haven't either, which is
Oh,
And
it's
surprising.
I
coming.
didn't give him
Yeah.
my email. I gave him my phone number.
Why would they text you? You keep coming. It's when you
Exactly.
stop coming.
Yeah,
they're gonna knock
that's
you.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
I'm going today, actually. Lane and I have a card show that we're working, so I was like, I'm gonna pick up coffee. Hee hee. Because it's just so good. I just like it so much.
Do you like that Raising Cane's?
How many
Yeah.
calories? How many calories
Oh.
in one of them coffees? Can you
Too
report
many.
back next week?
200,000.
Nah, not that much, but
They're
definitely
loaded with, I'll say, our sugar.
for somebody who's, my mom's gonna listen to this, for somebody who's cut out drinking because I'm trying to watch what I eat and put in my body, it does not count. I do not count those.
Yeah, that's a good one. That,
I
as well
do not count those.
yeah, I don't think I would either.
Let me just guess. RFK Jr. wasn't in line in front of you or behind
No.
No.
you. Yeah.
Do you want to know what also is super crazy? All of their employees were high schoolers or like freshmen in college. I'm like, do you guys not have class at all? I went 3 different times of the day and was just baffled by how many.
Maybe
like,
they don't work.
Now I know why. Now I know why Randy goes.
No.
Okay,
Uh-uh.
that's perverted and gross.
I know. That's why Randy goes.
No, it isn't.
That's too far. It's one
Yeah.
thing. I mean, I hate when you guys talk about women like that anyway, but we're not talking about minors. Icky. No. Veto.
No, it's not. Because, no.
That's gross. That's illegal. Ugh.
But they do work outside in all kinds of weather. They got
They
the
do.
heaters
They
out
have
there.
They
Oh,
have
it's
like
outside. It's like the
no,
Chick-fil-A
It's-
thingy.
Yeah, they have like
Yeah,
a
it's
Chick-fil-A
just, all
setup.
it is drive-through. 2
It's
drive-throughs.
just, I know. I think there's a walk-up window, but they don't really have
I don't
anyone.
think there's one here in Jacksonville. I think it's just 2
Yeah,
drive-throughs.
but it's a drive-through.
Do they
yeah,
have an
double
oil change
lanes.
place close to it?
Yeah,
Do they have a what?
Oil
Yeah, they
change
do.
place.
yeah. They have
That-
an oil change place close to it, and also 3 car washes.
Well, is it the oil change place? Does it look like Raising Cane's or look like the coffee place? Because that's what they've got here. It's the same
Are they
franchise.
owned by the same? Are they owned by the same thing? You think?
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
So they
no, we
typically
don't
put
have
one
that.
of these quick lubes next to the coffee place on the same place, same area.
I'd have to.
Interesting.
Maybe I'll have to look. But
It's
I
one
went
that's
up-
got a little oil can on it.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. But most oil can or oil change places have oil can logos. But this is 7 Brew. It went up so fast. Like I had no idea they were even building it. And then all of a sudden it came across my like Facebook feed. Somebody had shared something about how we got, I don't know, about the
Well, there's
South
not
Side
much to 'em.
7 Brew.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's not much. I mean, it's just a small building with where
Yeah.
they got make the coffee and stuff, and then 2 drive-throughs. And a
I had
walk-in
no
cooler.
idea. I had no idea it was coming up or it was opening. And then I ended up there on opening day. And I was like, well,
I just need
This
one of
is
them
a
some
sign.
bitches to go out of business so I can pop in for an ornery chicken
well,
drive-through.
you know,
It would be
it's
a
not
perfect-
going to be. It's not going to be a 7 Brew.
It would be a perfect place. Their setup would be perfect for that.
Yeah, I know. I looked at the Hyper one. I looked at their plans.
Yeah.
They're about $1.2 million to
Really?
build that setup with the concrete and all that, plus the lot.
Yeah,
So I mean, you'd probably be
I feel like
$1.5
you'd have a higher-
$1.6 million.
I feel
Because
like you have a
property
higher
where you
chance
need
of
to
like
put
a
it'd be cheap.
scooters. Maybe like a
The
scooter.
property wouldn't be cheap where you'd need to put
But
it.
you have to. But none of these places have room for like a kitchen.
Who says you need a big kitchen? You
I
really
guess.
just need a bank of fryers and a build station,
I guess that's fair.
right? You
Yeah.
really don't need a lot of room. I mean, your refrigerated space is the problem. You got to have some end that's going to have a walk-in cooler, freezer, or whatever.
Well, look at
Yeah.
Raising Cane's. I mean, that's all they are is fryers and prep
Yeah.
area.
But
Yeah,
they have a big ol'
they got a
kitchen
bigger
still.
footprint. So you
Yeah.
started to say about Raising Cane's. What do you think about Raising Cane's?
Yeah, Randy, what do you think about it?
Oh,
Me?
I think it's very good. I like it.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
my favorite. It's the only
Yeah.
other chicken. It's the only other chicken place I'll eat at besides the
Yeah,
Arnold
I
Chicken.
really like it. There's one in Springfield, and we get it. I get it quite a bit, and bring it home for lunch, and then we
Yeah.
just put it in the air fryer, and it's just like you got it out of the fryer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, no.
I like Raising Cane's. I don't eat it very often, but
Their Texas toast is. They're
Yeah.
nice, buttery toast. Oh, why
yeah.
am I on a diet? Food's just so good. But,
I know I'm hungry because all I had yesterday, I mean, I had some Conecuh sausage for breakfast and I had a bite of chicken and I had a protein bar
I had.
last night for dinner. And my protein bar, it's not just the vegan free protein bar that's giving me colon blow. It's all of them.
Huh.
That's a bitch. How am I going to find my snack?
Yikes. I had a pretty good meal at a wedding yesterday.
Really?
Catered,
Mhm.
I assume. What'd they have?
They had turkey, and it had a kind of like. It was kind of like a gravy on it, but I'm not sure. And then it had like a breading, but it was like I I don't know how to explain it because it wasn't breaded. It was really interesting, but yeah,
Was
like
it turkey
this.
tetrazzini or something like that?
I don't know. They didn't have it labeled, but maybe I'd have to look that up. And then
Speaking of turkey, we're going to have to put turkey on our food truck menu. I think we're going to put
really,
it on there.
That's easy.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean we've got it, and you know the way we cook it now. My guys say it's the best meat we have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just make a sandwich out of it.
Yeah. So back to
Turkey's
this
good.
wedding menu. Hang on.
Yeah.
Back to the wedding menu.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and then they had meatballs. They had or they had pork loins. I didn't get the pork loins. Coleslaw. They had all sorts of sides. Salad. I don't know.
Who
Their
catered it?
coleslaw. I couldn't figure it out. It was in Boone.
How many sides did they have? 7?
6.
Oh,
Well,
Jeez.
if you
it
kind
was-
of, I mean, if you
I-
kind of
I
roll as a
guarantee-
side.
I guarantee it was that.
Actually, no. They had 8. They had 6 cold sides, 2 hot sides.
Yep. That was that catering company. God, they just bought some equipment from us.
Does it start with an L?
They're in a small little town.
I think it was like, I want to say that it started with an L. On the, but I couldn't figure out if the kids working were for the caterer or for the venue.
Well, so they hire. What? It's going to bug me until I find it.
But yeah, we went to the 1868 farmhouse in Boone. That's where this wedding was at. It's a cute little venue.
Yeah, that's where my nephew got married.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a big wedding though. There's a lot of people there.
Now I got to find this catering company.
And they had their dessert was a donut wall from Krispy Kreme. Boy, let me tell you, if you're gonna do a dessert, that's the way to do it.
Was it on a? Did they put it on pegs or something?
Yeah.
Or what?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
that's
like a
what I've
pegboard.
seen. Big pegboard with the different donuts on it.
Yes, and oh boy, let me tell you, Krispy Kreme donuts. Doesn't sound like I'm on a diet at all.
Litterdale Country Store.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Randy, look up Litterdale. Lidderdale. Litterdale Country Store. So Litterdale started out as it was a gas station in a small town.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, family owned gas station.
you love
Okay,
those.
and then had a little kitchen on it, and then built a bigger kitchen on it, and ended up shutting down the gas station and had this restaurant. And then they opened this catering company. And this catering company, they cater like a 200-mile radius. Okay.
Wow.
They cater Omaha, Des Moines, whatever. Their specialty is most of their menus include 7 or 8 cold sides,
Mm-hmm.
including, and most of them are 20, $22 a plate. And so we had we had a bunch of from the old catering company here that we bought out. We had a bunch of stuff. Well, one of our warehousing guy has a relationship with them, and so they came down and they looked at stuff. And I wasn't here that day. I wish I would have been, because I would have sat here for hours. But your mom did, Amanda,
Mm-hmm.
and she was. I said, I want to figure out how they figure out quantities of how much they use. And he goes, oh,
Sure.
we just know. They don't have any systems at all.
Really?
They just know that, hey, if we're going to have 100 people, we need 5 pounds of coleslaw, and we need this much of 3-bean salad, and just need this much. They've been doing it for so long, but they hire local people,
Mm-hmm.
and they have one person that takes the food out,
Mm-hmm.
and then they hire local people to kind of
That's-
serve it.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what.
So they actually
was.
hand serve it. It's not a buffet.
No, it's a buffet, but they hired like college kids to come through it and monitor the food at the buffet, and then
Right.
to like attend to our plates and stuff.
Was it China or not?
No,
No.
I don't. What do you mean? Like, was
Like,
it?
did they serve it on paper plates, or did they serve it
no.
on?
I mean, I wouldn't call it China, but yes, it was.
Ceramic
plate.
Throwaway plate? Was it a
Ceramic
throwaway plate?
It was a ceramic plate. You say China plate, and I'm thinking like a really expensive, delicate, bougie ass plate.
Was it
was
a throwaway plate or a washable plate?
Washable ceramic plate.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and they do their stuff, but but look at they only have three their menus. It's crazy, because you'll get this. Their menu, they have a wedding menu, a funeral menu, and a special event menu.
Uh-huh.
That's their 3 menus. And they were changing that a little bit. They were changing because they were going down to like their wedding package 1, their most popular. 3 meats, 1 potato, 1 hot vegetable, 7 salads: taco salad, Caesar salad, broccoli cauliflower salad, fruit salad, pasta salad, potato salad, and cottage cheese. Includes dinner roll, butter, plates, silverware, and napkins. Meat choices for additional costs. So you can get pork loin in au, pork loin lightly barbecued, baked ham, meatballs in Italian sauce, roast beef, beef lasagna, ham balls, chicken breast with wild rice, roasted chicken, or poppy seed chicken.
Oh, maybe it was chicken.
Seeing that crazy that you don't even know what it was?
Well, I originally took a bite of it and said, "Oh, this is good chicken," and then somebody was like, "Isn't it supposed to be turkey?" And I was like, "Maybe I just don't know the difference."
Do you think
I don't eat
was it
turkey
in
enough.
rice?
No.
Was it in rice?
It had like a gravy on it.
Yeah, see,
And
anything's good to put gravy. Yeah, so it's just a small town caterer, but their specialty is they bring these 7 salads.
It was
7 salads.
They had one of those salads was coleslaw instead of a salad, for Lisa's wedding. But yeah, because I ate that.
And their sides, they have green beans, corn, green bean casserole, baked beans, little reds in butter and garlic, scalloped potatoes, mashed potatoes, garlic mashed red potatoes, or cheesy hash browns.
Hey, green beans.
Everything, we do all that stuff, but it's like we'd have a nightmare going, how in the hell do you deal with? But with 7 salads, if you run out of a salad, it's fine. Just take the
I was
bowl
gonna
away.
say
Now you
I
got
was
now
one
you
of
got
the
4.
Yeah,
I was gonna
now
say
you got 6. Yeah, exactly.
I was one of the last tables because they did it. So how they did the tables was by donation to this organization that they were gonna give the money to. But and was sitting at a table with a bunch of teachers, and so we had the lowest donation. Not the teachers, not a dig on teachers. That was just the joke of the night. Um, and so we got to go last.
Was there food
So
of
there was only
everything
6.
there?
Well, I think there was only 6 sides, so one of those
Okay.
salads was gone by the time I got there. 6 cold
But
sides.
they charge a premium, and I think they do a great job. And it's just comfort food at its finest.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Sounds
But
like
they branch out. I mean, they do weddings in Omaha, and they do an immense amount of. But they have this huge kitchen, and they just ship out. They only have like, I can't remember what the name of what. I mean, Amanda will tell me tomorrow, but I think it was like only like 15 employees.
Huh.
But they'll take one employee, will take all the food and meet the servers and coordinate. They'll take one person out to each event.
Right.
And that
Kind of their
person
captain.
takes all the food. The captain takes the food to each event and meets the on-site people that they hire locally.
Oh, they hire them locally from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like these were
They've
just
been-
college kids.
Yeah.
But they've
So
been
they
doing
probably
it enough.
That Boone, they probably were Iowa State students that came up
Or-
from Boone.
Or DMAC.
Oh, DMAC and
DMAC.
Boone, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But they've got this whole network of people that they've got working for
Interesting.
them. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It was pretty interesting.
Lots of coordination, but total manual. Total manual. Their food production. I mean, they probably did 10 weddings yesterday.
I'll be
100% manual.
Just we know how much we're going to need.
No systems.
Interesting.
Maybe that's the way to do it. Maybe the problem is that we're letting systems take over.
Our problem is we're trying to do it with systems. Yeah, it could be. It could be. We're seeing more and more customers, I'm trying to replace the phone call with systems. Right. And so we're seeing a lot of customers placing orders online for the transactional business. And we do a lot of transactional business. You're not going to do a wedding as a transactional.
What do you mean by a transactional?
The business lunch. I want to feed 25 people tomorrow.
Okay.
To each 2 sides buffet. Drop it off at 11:45. Boom.
Okay. Okay.
Almost like going up to Raising Cane's and ordering a number 2 combo. Right.
Right.
That for catering. That's our bread and butter. Okay. We do those all day long, every day, 10, 15, 20 times a day. That's our bread and butter. If you're doing a wedding, you don't fit into there. But that's why we're having so much trouble we're trying to get Total Party Planner to create an online ordering portal, but they don't see that because they're so used to handling big events and weddings.
Right.
And they're going, why would you want that? Nobody's going to use that. Well, I'm like, no, the market, the other side of the market is us, who's a transactional catering company. We don't do a lot of weddings. We do maybe 1 or 2 or 3. And I'm not sure, well, we probably never do more than 2 in a weekend, and we don't do it. And I'm not sure we even want to. Weddings, a wedding for 250 people, that's a lot of planning. Hell, I could book 50, 25-person caterings in a tenth of the time it takes to deal with a wedding.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right?
I'm sure.
So it's just one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't. It just depends where you want to be. I know that like the Shigs guys out in Fort Wayne, they used to do an immense amount of weddings, and they've pulled back that business.
Have they really?
Yeah, they used to have 150 servers, I think, on staff.
Holy Toledo.
On call and full bars and everything. And they're trying to adapt more to our business where the business drop lunch off.
Right.
That's, it just depends where do you want to make your money. what's the easiest? But
Yeah.
Interesting.
we screwed up our first catering this week of the jam. Totally
Oh, gee.
100% my fault.
Oh, well, at least it was your fault.
Yeah, it was
It's
my
always
fault. I owned it. I booked a catering about a month ago, and the guy then changed the date on it, which is fine. And so I just always book I handle all the catering. Then I send it to Alex, who sends an invoice out and whatever. Well, we aren't running a master calendar. And we were just sitting there we have a weekly catering meeting. And we're talking about it. The day before, we're talking about, hey, somehow we got to get some sort of, because we're just starting to do this for the ornery chicken. We're starting to get graduation caterings. We got to get eyes on this master calendar for all these other. Smoky D's is all in Total Party Planner. We have a thing, but we don't have all that stuff. And sure as shit, the next morning we put them into toast, and at 5:00 in the morning, here pops up this order for a 35-person catering. They just start handling it at the thing, and it's our kitchen manager's day off. Well, the assistant guy, he's there. He's like, they're like, what do we do? And like, well, I'll start. And it was biscuits and gravy for 35 people with bacon and whatever. He goes,
Oh, so it was a morning catering.
it was a morning catering for
okay.
6 a.m. drop off.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And they didn't have my phone number.
Oh, shit.
So you know what they did?
They handled it?
They handled it.
So
They started baking biscuits. They started making sausage gravy. They started cooking bacon, and they got it. And actually on the order, it had where it needed delivered to Baker Group, and Barb in the office, she grabbed it in her personal car and went, and we got there, and it was about 20 minutes late. Right. But it got there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It got there. And so I sent a message to the guy and said, hey, my problem, my fault, totally my fault, whatever. I mean, they were just having a breakfast meeting. So it was, they had started their meeting, whatever. But anyway, I guess the one secretary wasn't too happy with us. And I offered to discount it or any future ones, and I'll make it right. And he goes, hey, I understand. I said, we're just getting started on this thing. And, told him what was going on with it. And he goes, well, I thought we had booked breakfast burritos on it too. Well, he originally was talking about breakfast burritos, and then he switched on me. And I said, well, you talked breakfast burritos, and then you switched to biscuits and gravy. And he goes, well, I kind of wanted both. And I'm like, well, we sent you a confirmation, and I told you to read the confirmation, and it didn't have anything. But he goes, yeah, that was my bad. He wanted breakfast burritos and full biscuits and gravy and bacon for every person.
Oh.
Oh.
Quite
$11 a person? Yeah, I don't think so. So anyway.
That's a lot of food.
But anyway, we're getting everything on the calendar now. So we learned a valuable lesson there. But the good thing is our staff handled it. They just handled it, which was great.
Yeah, that's amazing.
They just handled it.
They handled it. They saw it. It popped up in toast, and they just did it. They just like, what are we doing? He's like, well, we bake more biscuits. We make more sausage gravy. We get her done.
Yep. That's a good thing.
Not that this matters because it can be a long episode, but what's the timing on your end?
We're getting ready to close this thing up.
Okay.
Why? What else you want to talk about?
Well, no, I just was checking. I just didn't know how long you guys had actually been recording because mine says we're at 50 minutes, so I was just keeping an eye on it.
We're at 108, so we're about ready to wrap up for the week.
Yep.
Okay. It doesn't matter.
Right?
We can keep talking if you guys want. I was just keeping track.
We didn't even know what we were going to talk about, and all of a sudden
it's an hour.
Just like always. We always find a way. We had some chicken secrets in there, some catering secrets in there. Boy, what a great episode.
Fantastic.
Without Emma. And we got the Emma surprise in there.
Yeah.
Always.
Which is always good.
I guess.
All right, are we out of here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Might as
what
well
do you think?
just wrap it
Anything
up.
else?
Nothing else.
I don't have anything.
Big week, Randy?
Yeah. Real big week. We got a catering tomorrow night. You're talking about your big ones. We got a catering for 375 people.
Whoa.
Tomorrow evening. And
that's a nice Monday night.
Yeah. Start the week out good. And and it's an easy one. Just pulled pork, mac and cheese, just an easy one. And then we've got booked solid food truck all the rest of the week, and a couple caterings in there too. So
Yeah,
Nice.
we got new equipment week coming. We got a new bar cooler showing up on Tuesday. We got a new
Right.
backline cooler showing up on Monday, and we got pizza, breakfast pizza coming to the menu at the Jam starting tomorrow.
nice.
Grandpa Denny's.
So, anyway, going to be a fine week for us. And family pictures next Saturday.
Oh
Yay.
boy! Oh boy!
Yes, I'm so excited.
I can tell.
Not.
I'm looking at my calendar and it looks like I have the whole week to do absolutely nothing.
Huh. Well, you get a nap every day then.
There you go.
I make time for those.
Maybe you can be rested up and
important.
show up on time next week.
Okay, you know what?
Ooh. Ouch!
Fuck you.
Sign us out, Emma.
All right. If you haven't already, follow us on social media at Cue the Mic Pod. Find us on YouTube at Cue the Mic Podcast. Like, follow, subscribe, do all the things. You know the drill. Randy, take it away, my guy.
Boom! Out of here. Done. Finished.
Boom. We're gone.
Adios.
All right. We will see you guys next week.